What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to our channel where I inspire your desire to be great. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching another video, you guys. Before I get into it, to my amazing supporters, thank you guys so much. Like, I really appreciate you guys constantly just supporting me. I just want y'all to know, like, I appreciate y'all so much. I want to share with you guys a story time pretty much of how I lost my dad on my 21st birthday. So this was, I'm currently 24. I'm gonna be 25 at the end of this month. Yay, I'm excited. So this happened 4 years ago, right? Yeah, because it was my 21st birthday. So this happened pretty much 4 years ago, which is why I really felt it was a good time to release this video, because it's what, 4 years later, like the anniversary of his death is pretty much coming up. So not July 31st, August 1st, I'll never forget. It was a Saturday morning. I got a phone call. I think that's the thing, I don't even remember like certain details because I think I was just so shaken by the experience. But I got a phone call from my sister in Jamaica telling me that my father passed away. No. Actually, I don't think she called me. She messaged me on WhatsApp saying dad is gone or something like that. And I couldn't believe it. Like, I was really shaken by it. I'm going to try to share the story in a way where, like, y'all can fully understand. So, 2001, I was 7 years old. I came to America. When I came to America, I don't recall, like, saying bye to my dad. So, when I left Jamaica, I didn't know that was going to be the last time I saw my dad. Like, I think I saw him a few weeks or something like that before I left, but it wasn't like a goodbye, dad, I'm coming to America, right? So, oh my God, this is so hard to tell this story, like, without getting emotional, because like I said, this is not something I've ever really like talked about or opened up about, but I really believe it's a story that will help a lot of people and that a lot of people will be able to relate to. So 2001, I was 7 years old. I left Jamaica. I came to America. Lived here for years. I kept saying, like, I wanted to go back home and see my dad, but I wasn't in a position to because of legal purposes. Like, I really couldn't go back home even if I wanted to. So over time, like, me and my dad, we didn't have like the greatest relationship after I came to America. Like, we talked here and there, but we didn't talk a lot. Like, we didn't have oh my God, we didn't have a daughter and father bond like some some father and daughters do, but we did like keep in touch and stuff like that. And then of course, like, I always thought, like, I was so sure I would go back home one day and I would get the chance to see my dad, but that never, like, it never happened until this day. So fast forward, like, came to America, like I said, back and forth, keeping in touch with my dad and stuff like that. Then this was, let's say, because this happened, am I in the right date? Yeah, 2014. Yeah, because it's 2018 for 4 years. Yeah. So this happened in 2014. So that year, my dad had called me asking me to send him some money because he wanted to throw like a birthday bash for himself. But I'm 18 years old. I wasn't in a position like to do that at all. Not 18 years old. I was 20 years old, but I wasn't in a position to do that. I was just about to graduate college. I had a lot of things going on financially. So I really wasn't in a position like to send him money to do that as much as I would like to. But outside of that, over the years, like, because of the relationship that I had with my dad, and as I found out certain things about him, I kind of developed like a hatred, if I may say, or a resentment in my heart towards him, like, because he was never there for me. Like, once I came to America, when I was back home in Jamaica, he was in my life. Like, I was able to see him, because I don't want this video to be like a video of me bashing him or putting out like just bad memories of him. Like, the great memories I definitely have with my dad was he brought us like to the beach all the time. He brought us to the river all the time. He always tried to teach me and my siblings how to swim and stuff like that. So I do have like some great memories with him. He took us on the weekends that he could. Other weekends he couldn't. We just stayed with my mom. So anyways, I'm gonna try to get into the real story as quickly as I can. So fast forward, like I said, I was developing a lot of stuff in my heart against my dad. Like, damn, why wasn't he there for me if he was in my life? Like, I started blaming him for a lot of things personally. I was like, if he was in my life, I wouldn't have had to gone through certain things, especially when it came to guys. Like, you know, he would have been there to protect me from these things. Like, a lot of things went through my mind, and as I experienced like hurt from other guys, I would blame my dad. Like, if my dad was there, I would have been able to not experience that, because he would have been able to warn me, like, that's not how a guy is supposed to treat you, that's not the things you're supposed to go through when it comes to a guy, whatever. So fast forward now, April. This is April 2014. He had called me, like I said. He asked me to send him some money because he wanted to throw a party, whatever, for himself. I wasn't able to do that. Cool. Fast forward, maybe like May, June approaches. No, not even. July approaches, and then he called me, so the last week of July, and then he asked me to talk. No. Before all of this, see, everything is like coming back. So my sister sent me a picture. My sister Raquel, she sent me a picture of a man. Like, he was curled up in bed, and he was just like, he looked sick, which he was. So I was like, who is that? I did remind you, this is my own father, and I didn't even recognize him because of whatever happened. I'm not going to tell y'all why he died. That's confidential, and out of respect to him, that's my dad. Still got love for him. So my sister sends me this picture, and she's like, that's dad. But before she sent me the picture, now that I'm thinking about it, nope, okay, the story's straight. She sent me the picture of my dad, okay? I was like, who is that? Because he was curled up in bed. He was small, like, he shrunk. And then the bed was filled with, like, a lot of clothes on it and stuff like that. So she was like, that's dad. He's really sick, and he needs help. So I'm going to stay with him for a little bit, and I'm going to help him, like, you know, around the house and stuff like that until he gets better. Cool. She does that, whatever. Then I was like, what's wrong with him? Like, how come he looks like that? This and this and this. Then she told me what was wrong with him, and I was like so heartbroken. So maybe like a few days later, my dad ends up calling me. Then he was like, but when he called me, he asked to talk to my mom. So I said, okay, sure, no problem. It's fine, like, for you to talk to my mom. Y'all, I feel like I'm about to start crying, but I'm trying so hard not to cry. So he asked me to talk to my mom. That week when he called me, my mom wasn't around. This was a Saturday. And so he told me, okay, since your mom is not around, tell her to call me 1 week from today, which is the following Saturday. Okay, so I told my mom, like, Mom, Dad said you need to call him, whatever. So then I also said, Dad, Raquel sent me a picture of you, like, what's going on, whatever. I wanted to see if he was going to, like, tell me the truth about what was going on with him and stuff like that. So he didn't open up. He didn't tell me the truth. So outside of that, I was like, you know what? For some reason, like, something in me was just like, you know what? You need to make things right with your dad. Like, you have a lot of resentment in your heart towards him. But also, at that time, I had already let go of that resentment. Like, over time, like, being in church and stuff, I had made up my mind, like, okay, that's my dad. I'm just going to forgive him. I'm just going to let these things go. And I'm just going to make, like, you know, because I realized, okay, I'm grown. I'm 20 years old or 18, 19 years old. I can't keep blaming him for him not being there. Like, I'm at an age, I'm at a point in my life where I can make my own choices. And I can pretty much, I can't use that as an excuse not to be successful or not to become something in life. And that's something my mom had always told me. She always was like, your dad not being in your life should never be an excuse for you not becoming, like, for you not living up to your fullest potential. And I always took that with me. I always, like, pushed myself really hard to be the best that I can be. So anyways, back to the story. So I made up my mind, like, after that phone call, I was like, you know, I need to have a conversation with my dad and just let him know, like, especially because he's sick at this time. I don't want it to, like, take a toll on him or affect him even more. Just have a conversation with him. Hey, Dad, look, I don't appreciate the fact that you weren't there for me. I don't appreciate, like, a lot of things that happened with you in my life. I forgive you. Like, let's just move past it. Let's strive to have a better relationship, okay? Y'all, that didn't get the chance to happen for me. Like, sadly, it did not get to happen. It did not get to happen for me. So, remind you, a week later, he said, that's what he said. He said, oh, call me a week later. But before we got off the phone, I had said to him, I said, Dad, what's wrong with you? Like, you told me last time I spoke to you, which was back in April when he had asked me for money for the things, because he did tell me that he was sick or different things was up with him or whatever, but he never got into full details about it. So he did say he was going to the doctor, yada, yada, yada. So I said, okay, what did the doctor say? He said, oh, I'm fine, I'm doing okay, whatever. So I'm like, all right, you telling me one thing, but my sister told me a whole different thing. So I was waiting for him to tell me that. Y'all, I'm sorry, I had to like take a deep breath. But when I say, I don't even know how to put it in words, like I said, because it's never something I ever talked about. But I'm talking about it now for like the first time. But my dad passed away that Saturday, like that weekend that my mom was supposed to call him, because from my understanding, he told my sister's mom what was wrong with him, and she told them. So my assumption was that he was going to tell my mom what was wrong with him, and my mom was supposed to tell me and my brother. So that never got the chance to happen. Like, that Saturday came around, I think my mom got busy or something, because that was my birthday. I'm actually curious to check the exact date of like everything, how it unfolded. Give me 1 second. I know I probably should have done this before the video, but I don't know, I'm just opening up to you guys through the video. So this is how it's gonna go. So July 2014, no, that's August. Okay, so that Saturday, okay, so that's what happened. Thursday, now it makes so much more sense. Thursday was my birthday. That was the day that my father passed away. Friday was one of my aunt's wedding. He was supposed to be a part of that wedding. They did not tell anybody that he passed away that Thursday because, number one, it was my birthday. Number two, it was my aunt's wedding the next day. Nobody was going to be able to handle it. Like, that's a hard time to lose somebody. So I remember Friday, my sister texted me and she said, she messaged me on WhatsApp and she was like, Dad's gone or something like that. And I just remember like throwing my phone and just screaming because I really just couldn't believe it. Like, so many things just started flashing through my mind. I remember calling like my mom and just like screaming and crying and just being like, Dad, like my dad is gone. I told y'all this is like one of the hardest videos I've ever had to do, but I felt like if I shared this with some people, like it will be able to help them, because a lot of people have shared their struggles, their stories with me, and it has helped me. So I believe it's only right for me to share my stories, my struggles with you guys so that it can help you guys. So that Friday, I just remember like just crying. Like, it was like one of the most painful experiences I've ever experience. I really felt like I lost a part of myself that I will never ever get back. Like, because remember I told you guys, like, I had planned to tell my dad, like, Dad, like, I forgive you, we're good, like everything is okay, but I never got the chance to do that. And then on top of it, and so many people like bashed me for this, but I'm okay with it until this day. And most people don't even know the truth, but I couldn't even go to my dad's funeral. Like, people offer like to pay for me to go, this and that, but document wise I wasn't in a position, legal wise I wasn't in a position to go to my father's funeral. And so many people were like, oh, that's your father's funeral, like how can you miss it, this and that. And then on the other side, like, there was a part of me that didn't want to go to the funeral because I didn't want to remember seeing my dad like that. Like, I wanted to remember the dad that took me to the beach, that was healthy, that was strong, that tried to teach me how to swim. Like, that was the dad that I wanted to remember, y'all. But when I say like losing my dad was like one of the hardest things, it's like I had already kind of lost him because he wasn't really in my life, like in that sense, like his father presence. But then, you know, like when somebody's alive, there's always hope. Like, you always think like, okay, there's a chance like for him to make up for that absence, you know what I mean? Like, I was hoping like, okay, me and my brother can, you know, help him come to America, like help him have a better life than he had back home in Jamaica and stuff like that. But that didn't happen, and I kind of wish it could have happened. But I always believe like God knows why it didn't happen. But yeah, I lost my dad at 21 years old on my 21st birthday. But anyways, so Friday when my sister told me that he passed away, I was just like, when, how? And she was like, sis, this happened yesterday, but I knew it was your birthday and I couldn't tell you on your birthday. And then on top of it, what hurt it even more was the fact that, like, and I don't know who's gonna see this video, but the family members that I expected like to reach out to me and tell me like what was going on, they didn't. Like, the only person that reached out to me was my sister and one of my cousins that offered to pay for my flight and stuff like that to go to the funeral. But like I said, I couldn't go because I wasn't in a position legally to. But the point of this video really, number one, is to share that with you guys, and to also share with you guys how I cope with that loss. It's just, number one, I had to comfort myself and just be like, you know what, my dad is not in pain anymore. And sometimes we're selfish, like we want people to live longer, but when they're living longer, they're just suffering. You know what I mean? So personally, like, I wouldn't want to live long and suffer in the physical body. You know what I mean? I'd rather just be put to rest than to suffer as much as my dad was suffering in his physical body. And number two, this is something like I always like encourage people, if I know that they're dealing with something similar, like if your parents are alive, like just make things right with them while they're alive. Because yes, like in myself, I was like, okay, I let it go, like I forgive my dad and all of that stuff. But what hurted me the most was that I didn't get the chance to tell him. And one thing I'm thankful for is one of my cousins, and maybe that's why like she became like one of like my favorite cousins, if I may say, is my cousin Chevelle. She lost her dad when she was younger, so she knew how it felt. And I just remember like I was just on the phone just like screaming and crying, and she was just like, it's okay. Like, I just remember her being there for me because it hurted like so badly, and it felt like nobody could really understand the pain that I felt. But after talking to like some people, they were able to understand the pain that I was feeling. But y'all, I hope y'all could take something from this video. Like, while your parents are alive, make things right with them. That's why even like with my mom, I've had many ups and downs with my mom, but me losing my dad motivated me to always make things right with my mom. Like, I always told her, like, look, you're the only parent I have left. I just want to make you proud. I just want to give you the world if I can, because she's just the only parent that I have left. And on top of it, she is the one that raised me. She's the one that taught me a lot of the things that I know, and I'm really, really, really thankful for her. So I hope you guys can get something out of this video. Like I said, this was one of the hardest videos I've ever done. But y'all, just whatever you do, like, value your parents. Even if they weren't there for you, like, just forgive them. Just let it go. Don't hold on to it, because it's like, I don't know, like, a time comes where you'll have to accept the fact that you can possibly never see them again, depending on their spiritual state. That's how I look at it. But I'm not going to get into that because that can become such a huge debate that I don't want to deal with. But yeah, a time will come where you can't tell them I love you. A time will come where you can't tell them I forgive you. A time will come where you can't buy them what you want to buy them. A time will come where you can't share certain experiences with them. And that's one thing, like, I will never be able to get back. Like, I'll never be able to tell my dad I love you. I'll never be able to, like, that's just something I've had to accept. Like, certain experiences I just won't be able to get with my dad, even though I lost them, like, when I was younger. So you that's watching this video, like, whatever you do, just make things right with your parents while they're alive, because you never know. Like, I didn't even know my dad was sick until 2014. But my sister Tiffany told me that he was sick a little bit before that, but she herself also didn't know that it was that bad. Like, he just told her, like, oh, I have this one condition or whatever, but it's gonna get better, it's not a big deal. But really, he was hiding like something bigger. But I hope you guys take away from this video. Like I said, I don't want to keep crying, but yeah, I'm gonna cut this video. I might do a part 2, but not so much about me losing my dad. It more will be like a story time of what it's like growing up without my dad. And I will definitely use that to motivate a lot of you guys, because I'm sure majority of people in the world grow up with single parents. Majority of people grow up in the world with single mothers. And like I told y'all, the purpose of my channel is to motivate, is to inspire you guys. So please, if you're watching this video, if something happened between you and your parent, you never know what your parents themselves are going through. You never know what happened, why they weren't able to be there for you in your life. So when you get to that age where you can sit down and you can talk to them and you can have a conversation with them to understand why things were the way they are, like, take advantage of it. Like, moral of the story is, my dad is no longer here. I can't sit down and be like, Dad, why this, why that, forgive, and reason with him on whatever happened. Like, I can't get that back. So even now, like, the times I have with my mom, I value them so much. Like, I love my mom so much. Like, my mom is a queen to me, and one of my biggest aspirations is to pay her to never work again a day in her life. Like, to really just retire her, build her dream home, buy her dream car, like, just do amazing things for her and watch her enjoy life in a way that my dad wasn't able to. And one thing my grandmother by my dad's side always told me, she's always like, you're so successful, you're becoming more and more successful, and I wish your dad was here to enjoy your success. And even though he wasn't there for me, I still wish like he was there. But outside of that, I do have like someone in my life that's also a father figure to me, so that whenever like he talks to me and he tells me that he's proud of me and he encourages me and lifts me up, like, it means the world to me, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand. I don't want to keep crying, but it means so much to me. And that man is my pastor, if y'all want to know. But yeah, whenever my pastor tells me like, I'm proud of you, or whenever he uplifts me and encourages me, like, it means so much to me, because those are words that I never heard my biological father tell me. So when my spiritual father told me, like, I do stuff on purpose just because I be wanting to hear him like say that, and it's so refreshing. So of course we know like no one can ever take the place of your biological parents, but whoever may be that father figure in your life, also cherish them, appreciate them. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Like I said, I could go on and on and on, but what I would want to go on about is a separate video. So I appreciate you guys. I feel like I didn't fully finish the story, but it's not, there's depth to the story, and I think I did my best to share it. But long story short, like I said, when my dad passed away, I didn't go to the funeral. I wasn't able to go to the funeral. A lot of rumors came back to me that people are mad at, I have people that still don't talk to me to this day because I wasn't able to go to my dad's funeral. But that's okay. That's totally okay. I still love them too. I forgive them too. I don't got nothing against them. But you that's watching this video, love your parents, cherish your parents, value your parents. It doesn't matter what they have done to you. The most important thing is they're the one that gave you life. They're the means that God used to give you life, and you can never have another mother. You can never have another father. So be uplifted, be inspired. You guys have any questions for me, comment below. One of the ways that I did cope with the death of my father, I didn't stay to myself at all. I always surrounded myself with people. If it was on my mind, I talked about it. I just would be like, man, I wish I could see my dad again. That was things I did. So this video is to help somebody that's watching. And that's all I have for you guys. I don't want to keep crying. I don't want to keep being sad. But that's the emotions you have to deal with real life. So thank you guys for watching this video. I can't wait to drop another video for you guys. Be uplifted. Be inspired. Be encouraged. More motivation is the brand. I'll see y'all in the next video. And like I said, if y'all have any questions, anything y'all might be curious about or think, hey, you didn't mention this, or you didn't say that, or you didn't cover this, or you didn't cover that, feel free to ask. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to do another video for you guys. And I will see you all in the next video, where I inspire your desire to be great.